League by example of all the Croatia. The ladies cheer so far, they recognise what he's given.
So yes, hello everybody. I've got me last night. It's a little bit, yeah. Update should be coming out.
For Jurriën Timber, that he should miss the running has been cruel, but he might make Budapest is potentially critical. His class at fullback and his winner against Chelsea will not be forgotten. Mikel Merino back at the end, and he has contributed plenty before today, not least the headers to equalise at Newcastle and against Chelsea. For the Premier League, a third different champion in 3 seasons. Title-winning Arsenal captains in line of succession. Eyes are darkening, so is that track surface as cloud cover moves into the area. We are at lap 91. The race is official. Once the leader crosses to complete lap 101, 10 laps away. But hello, Dixon Rosenquist, all the Penske's, everybody still needs to pit. Maybe around lap 96, 97. I don't know if they can stretch it. So lap 101? I don't know. That'd be quite a ways. Below last pitted on lap 62. That'd be 38 laps. That's too far.
And if they can't make it, the drivers who could. Once again, Rasmussen, who's made his way up to 16th. He has 2-3 laps over the rest of them. As does Hardy.
Holy shit, I'm in 2 minutes. Shit, I'm in 2 minutes. Oh, that's good. Updates in this update 12.2, 12.5, 20.2. New function of volume, dynamic ranks, mental zone.
The rears just completely lock up. Oh my god, that could have been so much worse for Will Power. Under caution, fluid pouring from the back of Will Power's car. We are under caution once again here in Indianapolis. Will Power lucky to escape.
Let's go here.
What could have been a horrible. Yeah, nasty accident there. Or I say accident, nasty incident for Will Power. Nowhere to peel off because he was down the front stretch. Alexander Rossi. Now we saw this car on fire this time last year. This looks like another issue with the engine. Needs a bit of help getting out. You can see there, Rossi was being helped away because of that injured right foot that he, in that incident, that crash in the week on Monday, had surgery to put some pins in that ankle, but he is out. Almost deja vu. We saw that last year, that car.
Yeah, we saw, I don't know what the issue is, but definitely Will Power also really lucky there to kind of peel off into the pit exit and weirdly spun. Luckily, he didn't go back up onto the track. So, yeah, lots of going on, and it's pretty crazy in that sense.
And the reason it's relevant with Rossi, that is the exact car that he used at the Speedway last year because he wrecked his 2026 car in that crash on Monday. But yes, going back to Will Power, had nowhere to peel off on the finish straight. When he could peel off, very, very lucky because here we go. He's got nowhere to go. Now he has an opportunity to get down onto that car rotating around. Horrible to see with cars on the plenty of fluid drop on that front stretch. It's going to be a lengthy caution. Pit lane will be closed with that car stricken there. Well, Alex Rossi out of the car.
To see if I have
a few smiles on his face. Too annoyed, but his day started very positively, but went from bad to worse there as we see pit lane getting ready. It is shut at the moment. It is going to get busy. There are 32 laps through their coming right to the end of their green flag stint, so they will all have to hit pit lane. And as Rossi kind of shrugs off the disappointment, we are going to get very, very animated in a minute, because when this field hits pit road with that 101 lap marker looming and the weather, this could get very interesting indeed. The rear of his ECR car.
I have a new mouth, but which is LGB here on the side.
You will remember he's in the backup car, his hand and his foot bolted together after an accident earlier in the week, not even making it as far as his own pit stand. The Andretti team helping him out, and there is a little bit of lovely irony there that he now sits with the crew on Carl Kirkwood's car now, and Brian Herter on the pit stand, who called him to his first Indy 500 victory exactly 10 years ago. Fluid from Will Power's gearbox failure on the warm-up lane, fluid from the stricken car bounce Rossi in the pit box of Kyle Kirkwood. There's all sorts of madness unfolding here. Meanwhile, the man himself crunching back to the bus. Fans appreciate a driver is willing to fight his way through anything to compete in the 500. Well, Alexander Rossi out with a 5, his team boss Ed Carpenter out with a red, but Christian Rasmussen remains on track, is up to 15th place and has more fuel on board his car than the leaders. Still a chance. Gonna solve your sketch. Well, the benefit for Christian Rasmussen by having more fuel on board is when the pits do open and everyone more likely is going to come in here, it's a little less time for Christian Rasmussen. Normally you're waiting on fuel in one of these Indy 500 pit stops. If he can get a second less being plugged into fuel, James, it could make up for his team. It could mean several positions on pit lane. He is the lone ECR representative now after Ed Carpenter's crash and what we just saw from Rossi. So this whole organization that's invested millions into better performance, all of their hopes rest with Rasmussen. And critically now, for all these laps under caution, it means everybody gets to stretch out their fuel mileage, everybody gets closer towards that magical 101 lap number, beyond where their pit window would normally open. And for everybody who was going to naturally stop later, it extends theirs as well. And as the rain continues to make its way towards the track, who will find themselves in the premium positions? If, and it's only an if because there's no guarantee, that rain arrives. Guys, what I'm looking at more is, are these guys going to make it on fuel? They're keeping pit lane closed until it fixed, but some of these numbers, you look at 62 was the last time below pit, you're going to run out of fuel at some point if they're not careful. Let's hear what Alex Palou, defending race winner, is going to do for strategy.
We were a little behind on fuel there compared to Scott. Yeah, it gets that man out there over Q3 certainly gives everything you need. 1 and 2 just want it back and forth for that.
Yeah, so there you go. We talked about earlier, as Felix wasn't in the prime position, you can see the front two battling back and forth, making that extra fuel, having to lead last.
Do you want anything to eat?
Sitting there, letting those two dancing out. Dixon get close to the pace car. You're going to try to control the and it's save fuel. We're hearing now that the pits will be open this time by just in time. Lowe's been out for 35 laps. That's right at the max end of a full stint. How many will pit? Will those who are right on the limit of being able to extend, will they take this opportunity to pit? They might be studying the weather and say, hey, if we just hang out and skip this pit stop, maybe we get into something, but I think it's way too much of a risk. I don't think there's much rain. Maybe a little bit of a scope, but I don't think you can count on that. This is going to be a huge battle. Ganassi, Penske, Meyer-Shank Racing, all battling for the lead here on this stop. Battle of the pit crews. Dixon, Rosenquist, Lucas, Newgarden, and that's your top five. Eyes on those positions. See who makes them up as the cars roll down onto pit lane and come towards Georgia Henry.
So many variables that make pit stops here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway so challenging. One of them is clean in and clean out. Well, David Lucas doesn't have to go around Ed Carpenter anymore, so he has to clean in. The crew will do the pit stop. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel. He hasn't said much about the race car, but overall seems to be happy. He also has to clean out, which is strategic from that team. I call the strategist for Scott Dixon a quick stop for Dixon. He told him we are racing below. We are not racing the weather. Below, quick stop as well. He saw Dixon coming. He'll come out second.
Dixon, Colorado, for Lucas. It's 2 Ganassis, 3 Penskes, and I believe Pato O'Ward.
Nice.
That is the first of the Papaya Arrow McLaren machines that we've really seen today. And it's Pato O'Ward because he's had a big win in pit lane. We said there'd be some big winners and losers. Looks like Felix Rosenquist was the big loser there. And the Penske cars have got out very, very well indeed. But Arrow McLaren have delivered a great stop for Pato O'Ward.
Yeah, definitely. We see that, like I said before, pit road is so important, and especially on a yellow flag like this, where everyone comes in, you have to come into your pit box perfectly. You have to get out. The team really has to get the tires on perfectly. Fuel as well. You just have to execute, and that makes it really incredibly hard in these kind of races because everything has to be perfect. Even if you look at it now, you know, the reliability that
I'm down.
We can't forget that it's a race that goes. So that's also something that always is going to play into the game.
That all-important 101 lap mark. That means we will not be coming back tomorrow if we get that far. They will declare a result once they get to 101 laps. You can see a little bit of moisture on the camera there. Is that from one of the cars in front, or is that a bit of precipitation? We'll have to wait to see. Doesn't look like there's any more, but that was a great stop from Arrow McLaren. You're used to seeing the likes of Chip Ganassi, certainly on the 10 car with Alex Palou. They just deliver relentlessly as we ride on board with Scott Dixon. Just getting a bit of fresh air, Graham Rahal. You can do that with these Aero Screen cars. Now, you just tell us, even on a day like this, man, how hot is it in those cars? It's so warm, isn't it?
It is. It gets quite warm. Everyone has the visor up because, since the Aero Screen, you don't get that much air into it. So, on a lap like this, on the caution, you just try to kind of refocus a little bit, and open the visor kind of helps. There's not that much air coming in, but you can do it. So you try to help yourself as much as you can.
Just turned into a conservatory, if you like, a very British term, isn't it? But that's the atmosphere that I'm trying to explain here as we tick over the 100 lap marker. One more to go to reach that all-important mark where it will be declared a result. Scott Dixon leads from Alex Palou, David Malukas up to third.
days of Hugo are never not competitive, even against kids.
How about that? For most lead changes, top 5 of all time, including today. 45 so far.
And we are now at half distance, 100 laps completed. When we complete 101, if the rain comes.
James, you got any friends in Terre Haute?
You know, I do actually have a friend in Terre Haute who just recently sent me a message saying they've never had any rain, the clouds have broken, and the sun is shining. So I'm looking for that little bit of blue sky to come above the speedway in about 20-25 minutes here, T-Bell.
That'd be a game changer in terms of track temperature. A whole curveball for this field. If the sun comes out, the track temp shoots upwards quickly.
I do believe that Chip Ganassi Racing thinks the same thing, and that's why you heard Barry Wanzer say, we're racing Dixon, we're not racing the rain, to his driver Alex Palou. When you're on board with Dixon there, you can hear him clutching and coasting, just trying to save as much fuel as he possibly can. As a few of the other cars in the back of the field come in just to top off on fuel, maybe give themselves a little bit more options later in the race. We saw Carl Kirkwood earlier, one of the fastest guys from the open tests. That's some radio from him as well. He's up to 11th. Let's listen again.
Okay, so we're tracking rain currently 54 minutes away. That's about 2 stints worth of racing. Now we got 3 stints worth of racing to get to 500 miles.
Well, mixed reports coming from the 27th stand and from Terre Haute. Who do you trust? Brian Herta or James's anonymous friend from Terre Haute? We'll find out.
It's about time we start calling those local pizza
Well,
restaurants. That actually happened. You got
it's good that I'm live at 7, or you'd forget about
18
it.
miles away, see if it was raining or not. That is about as advanced as the technology could be, really.
But it might be a good idea because this one is kind of stupid.
Mentioning is the window, but like they say, I think we're gonna hopefully go there and.
Because I should have got the key, but I didn't.
Well, we're not coming back tomorrow, so everyone's got bank holiday Monday off. We will have a winner today. Just how far we get, we'll have to wait and see. I think this is the drone camera. Well, I hope it is. Head down from turn 2 down to turn 3. All 4 corners are the same here. And we heard Will Buxton quoting one of the drivers. You love them equally, but you treat them differently.
You do, turn 1 is very, when you drive into it, it's very intimidating. You have the grandstand, it looks very narrow on race day.
Only like 3,000 people are active on this.
And the grandstand, so the wind there can really affect the car on how you're driving through there. And I always thought turn 3, because that's where I had a big crash, was a little bit more daunting one. And then you have turn 4 where you have to be flat out coming out to make a pass at 1. So it's they're all the same, but they all have different consequences as well. To prepare a pass, usually you start preparing it on the straight before, so it's very important to get out of the corners the right way, and that's kind of the tricky part about oval racing. So you have to think sometimes a little bit earlier on your pass. It's not going to be somebody that's going to outrace, so it makes it challenging on how you have the setup in the car to be able to really get that toe into the corner to get out of it.
Just explain to us what we're hearing here when they're clutching it.
Well, they're trying to save fuel really, and we see also Scott Dixon being really close to the pace car. So you try to clutch to not use too much engine, and you try to run a really high gear behind the safety car.
109 winners in the book. The 110th about to be written. We're halfway home in 2020. Back home again in Indiana.
No
Scott Dixon leads
point.
from Alex Palou. Then Lucas made it up pit lane. Third from Newgarden and McLaughlin. Pato O'Ward is up to sixth. Rosenquist, Ericsson,
I got
Daly,
the key.
up into the top 10 for the first time today. Marcus Armstrong. That's your top 10 as it stands. All have stopped between laps 97 and laps 100. We run lap 103. If we get a torrential downpour now, result will stand. And we are getting conflicting sort of reports from around the track of whether we have a slight sprinkling potentially at the north end of the circuit. Potentially a couple of little spots on pit lane, but nothing bad enough yet to call a cessation or a pausing of this race. Just trying to look up Scott Dixon's aeroplane there if he saw any sort of sprinkles. And the thing is, the track has spotters all the way around, not just the track itself, the property in general, to give race control a heads up.
Guess what
Hopefully
we're gonna
before you
do
even
next,
see
the
it.
boss.
I saw
Yeah.
some
Here on Newgarden hit on the left side, you can see some beads of moisture. They're starting to get bigger. We are in official race distance land right now. 104 laps complete.
But if you look at the radar, these look like passing showers. I wouldn't call them a shower. It is a light sprinkling right now. We do hear reports that it's being seen on pit lane as well. But if we can ride this out for a few more laps, it's not like we've lost the track. We don't have to get track drivers out there. We can
What's
hopefully
up,
get back to
fella?
racing here pretty soon. You couldn't even call it drizzle at the moment. It's just very light spots of rain at certain points of the circuit. But when you're oval racing at 220 miles an hour, 0 spots of rain are acceptable. And the IndyCar is super diligent about making sure track conditions are perfect and are safe for our drivers before we go in. As a driver, it's so tough in this situation. You just want to get back to racing. The race had kind of finally got into a nice rhythm after those early cautions. People are finding their groove, finding their feeding. But now you're just driving around under caution, trying to save fuel, not knowing how long it's going to be before you get racing again. No man who's eager to get back to racing. He started today 23rd, currently finds himself fourth, running for his third win in the last 4 years. Joseph Newgarden, Kevin.
And Joseph Newgarden was not even supposed to be a
Mm,
race
so
car
yeah,
driver. He was a baseball
you know
and
where it
basketball
is.
player as a kid, but he always had his eye on racing. But his parents wouldn't let him get a go-kart, so he took that into
So yeah,
scooter.
if you want to join, you'll be able to see this.
So he started searching out proper events, found a sanctioned series. The family would travel from Nashville to the West Coast and started winning big events. So then they approved the go-kart when he was 13 years old, which is way later than almost everyone else here started racing. 3 years later, he was driving race cars. Today, he is trying to win the Indy 500 for the third time in 4 years.
We sit on board with Joseph Newgarden, cars being brought back to pit lane. You'll be able to see the flashing monitors on the side of the track. We are under red flag conditions here at the Indianapolis 500 for rain on track. And who leads? Her husband, Sir Scott Dixon.
Well, this looks like a pause in race activities because of precipitation. I knew I should have just said rain. Bit of rain, basically, the wet stuff, and not what we wanted to see.
You see what that judge did
Oh,
about
yes.
that those two
But doesn't look like
It's a
it's
14
changed
year
a lot
old.
in a sense. So I think
That's
they
part
just
of
work
looking
it out.
into it.
But for Scott Dixon, it's a
Hopefully
good
you don't give him
position right now.
someone
Because
else
if
to do
he
it.
really come down, he would be.
Something I don't know what they're doing.
Well, he was the one that was
The
really
parents have gone that
talking
so
to race control about the rain.
Exactly. I think that's
Good
what we
idea.
tried to do, to be honest. You know, and I'm pretty sure
What's
now
the censor by the
his whole
judicial?
family is doing the rain dance so that it comes and checks it. And
Yeah.
definitely like for
Yeah, he's very much lobbied the weather. And we can't blame Scott Dixon. We knew it was on its way. And for Alex Below's now sat there in pit lane in second place, and the rest of them were just shit.
You should
to
grab
get
that.
back out there. And from a driver's perspective, how disruptive is it to your process? You know, your heart rate's been up, your adrenaline's been up, and all of a sudden now it's paused.
yeah,
If it took off, it would
it's not ideal and people to get out and
Some of them are right out covering it up.
out of the car, but
Relax out.
I don't know, it is the same for everyone. So you just take maybe the time
That'll
to
legit
focus,
give
know
you
where you
pretty
are,
much
also,
everything.
if you get a chance to talk to an engineer,
I think there'll be a
You
minimum
need like
setting.
a trim times down energy,
side, or if you feel like
normal
as the
energy
speed
that
goes
is.
on, the car gets loose. Those are all information that the team can really help you with tire pressure,
And
stuff,
then
and things like
guilty,
that.
it's
So
a minimum setting.
let's say if you're a car that has been a little bit on the struggle bus, let's say, who it's been a little bit harder to drive, you can really use this to your advantage for sure. You don't want the race to restart, but you don't allow everyone else behind you want the race to restart as quickly as possible.
Now, F1 viewers are going to be leaving us for Montreal at the Grand Prix, but you can continue to watch the Indianapolis 500, what is left of it after this rain delay, in its entirety on Sky Sports Mix. But as it stands at IMS, we are under red flag conditions. That is due to the conditions. And Scott Dixon has led the field into pit lane behind the safety car with Alex Palou and David Malukas, the two
Got news for
machines.
your validation.
Weather incoming. Where is the window over Terre Haute as we
You want
see
it to
a disruption in the running here for the 110th Indianapolis 500. Hopefully it doesn't last too long. Dario Franchitti knows what it's like to win a race here at IMS that is
Prime Minister has said it's
disruptive.
appalling.
Alright.
Say to our spring sale across the stores. Out with the old, ciao. In with the Italian touch of Poltrone sofa, the Fossil, a timeless classic now just $6.99.
On the
Ciao.
phone.
The Sassuolo with power recliner, immersive motion, and cinema experience now just $16.99. Up to 4 years interest-free credit and free delivery this bank holiday. Ciao. One of our 97 stores. Poltrone sofa, order the sofas.
Fancy flavors in a crust. Order now.
Look at the size of what? Then board. 100 destinations in the UK. Switch to. Designs a great food. Turbo 2008. Visit turbo.co.uk.
Lay down again. But everybody first thing to do different sentences.
Hi, Sky.
Get over
Get
there.
ready for a big, colorful adventure with the Super Mario Galaxy movie. There's a huge universe out there with a lot of galaxies. Pack our things.
Can't be tried if you get found not guilty, unless more evidence comes up. If you've been found guilty,
It's just another race.
Hear the delight in George Russell's voice yesterday. He knew what it meant to hold his teammates' momentum. His third consecutive pole here at Montreal. He converted it into victory last year and will be desperate to do the same today. Two Mercedes drivers separated by exactly the same time in sprint and regular qualifying over the weekend. 68 milliseconds. It's tasty between the pair of them, wheel to wheel. Hoping for more today. But it is cold, it is windy, it's warm all the way through the weekend up until now. We're an hour and a half away from the Canadian Grand Prix. Evening all, welcome to Montreal. The atmosphere being nicely here with an hour and a half to go, as I mentioned, until lights out. What a day we had yesterday, an excellent sprint race, got a bit niggly between the two Mercedes teammates, and then Jamie Chadwick and Martin Brundle, arguably the best qualifying of the year.
I really enjoyed yesterday. It was a classic day of Formula One, as you say, an exciting sprint race, and then one of those punch and counter punch last driver of the line qualifying sessions as well.
I don't want them.
Number 5 of the round, perhaps.
Must have been 10 years ago.
Players who had shot 61 this week, you get it back in Friday's second round. That's what got him into that late pairing with Clark and Scheffler yesterday.
He definitely got it. He can go low. He's saying, just run the tables, I'll post the score. 7 and 8 are actually two good pars after that good run.
2 years ago this week, we went on holiday with Nicola.
15 years since Seven Kingdoms came to life on our screens, and in celebration, we take you back to where it all began and gather the Starks and Lannisters in one place in an HBO Max 15th anniversary of Game of Thrones.
On the edge of the North York Moors lies the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
150 it is, good quality stuff, Yorkshire stuff, that's what we like.
The help of his team and his family, goodness, coming lifted. He's clearly got it home.
Absolutely ghastly.
Little things like that.
Yorkshire.
And discovered
It doesn't. That's white shirt, maybe.
Salesman turns these forgotten treasures to incredibly James Martin, starts Monday the 1st of June. Some relationships commitment can really take you. Love is about to get even more complicated and boundaries know no limits. Dive into Seeking Sister Wives, streaming now on Discovery Plus.
God knows.
On the edge of the North York Moors lies the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
150 it is, good quality stuff, Yorkshire stuff, that's what we like.
With the help of his team and his family, goodness, having lifted, Angus has been running his auction house for more than a decade. When he's not on his roster, he's clearing cluttered homes. This is all this crap.
Well, I don't care about
Finding unwanted
those
items to go
times
under his gavel.
because
It's funky, isn't it?
It is absolutely ghastly.
It's little things like that that just make my job enjoyable.
Using his expert knowledge, he uncovers hidden gems.
This is really nice. There's a bit of Yorkshire wherever you go in the world. Yorkshire.
And discovers valuable heirlooms.
It doesn't. That's not wear a white shirt.
Back at the sale room, he turns these forgotten treasures
2,200
into incredible windfalls of cash. It's an early start in Kirby North. But a quick look behind us is next door. Today, he has 2 new helpers.
Upstairs? You don't need to go upstairs.
His youngest children, twins Arthur and Arthur. When he's not on phone, Angus must finding items, collectibles, and furniture for the next auction.
That's what we do there. It's not clearance. She said.
okay.
On the air.
Question everything with Saturday Night
Not going
Live.
anywhere.
Starts with Hollywood Demons, Jerry. Saturday at 9 on TLC.
Go be to
Passengers are advised that brand new We Save the Train is on Quest with us, Francis Bourgeois and Chris Harris. You can find it Tuesday, 9 p.m. on Quest.
On the edge of the North York Moors lies the picturesque town of Kirby Moorside, home to auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
Thank you, madam.
With the help of his team,
That's rather a good bet.
I really like that face.
What's wrong with you now? Those spiders, they're not going to get you.
Angus has been running his auction house for more than a decade.
Bless you, Angus.
When he's not on his rostrum,
Right, that's it. I'm leaving my beloved Yorkshire.
he's clearing cluttered homes.
I'll obviously,
Finding unwanted items to go under his gavel.
you want us to take everything empty.
If you think it's worthwhile taking.
That is fantastic. I love that.
Using his expert knowledge,
Oh, look at that.
he uncovers gems
What does I have to do for my job?
and discovers valuable heirlooms.
That is gorgeous. Do you ever think you're born in the wrong era?
Yes. Back at the sale room, he turns these forgotten treasures
And £600.
into incredible windfalls of cash. At the auction house, there's rarely a quiet moment.
That's one of about 5 bags in there of trophies. Yeah.
As the team receive up to 100 calls a week about house clearances and receive around 30 visitors looking to sell their items.
You're right.
Yeah,
These are the pictures you rang about.
they are, yeah. Up to 50% of these calls are from people looking to clear the possessions of a relative who's passed away.
They need help clearing those items or selling those family possessions on. And, it's always good to find new homes for them, and sometimes you get some specialist items or rare items, and our team back here make sure that those items get marketed to the right people and that we attract the right buyers. So it's always good when you get something a little bit different and you get excited about it and really shout about it.
Today, Angus will be hoping to do just that, as he's meeting fellow Yorkshire folk and siblings Glynis and Steve about their parents' very unusual collection.
They're called boat top caravans, and it's basically an oak and a cart with a roof of a circular.
I think there's never way out on the road, but no use for church event days and village events.
Taking them is going to be a big job, and Angus will need some serious muscle power.
You're right, Pete. Yeah, good. We're going to get off. We're going to get set off. Gets this Labour job. Just all these caravans got low load of meters there. Obviously, we're going to need all of us to get them shipped in. Yeah. If you want to get Nick and then follow us on. All right, yeah. The address there for you. Right, see you shortly. All right.
It's an hour's run in near Lake in North Yorkshire, and to mark the head start.
You go from someone who says to get the keys, everyone else to get the ghosts.
Check out the caravan straight away.
Oh, wow. It's not often you pay black money, is it? Yeah, we think that's a lot bigger than the last 20 years, to be honest.
UK independent, also known as London.
Oh, wait. I think the upgrades a lot more than the captures.
There's a lot of people who release a variety of reasons, but we think we're installed and used with more. So we'll want to I do the rock and make it into sort of a shepherd's butt style combination. And it's absolutely ridiculous. I'll grab my we know we're fixed for getting them shifted.
It's going to be a mammoth task to shift the wagons. Fortunately, Angus has already called in the cavalry, or in this case, a man with a low-loaded trunk. They load the first two caravans.
That's it. This has got traditional wooden spoke wheels, which is lovely, it's better, but they're rotten. You've got a chance that this might just fall to bits.
But they'll need Pete and Nick's help for the others. While waiting for them to arrive, Angus checks out the inside of the home.
Nice house. Yeah, it's always been a family home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously the family's grown up and moved away. Mother and father stayed here and grandchildren came back and this was part of their playground as they grew up. And as you can see, yeah, lots of collection, lots of rocking horses, I'm sure. There's rocking horses here, there's some more in the bedroom over there. And
That's one of the room as well.
so it's it's time to move on and which is what Dad would want to do and Mum would want to do.
The first rocking horse we had came from somewhere called St Andrews. And then this just collect another rocking horse and we'll do another one because rocking horses are fun.
The whole collection revolves around childhood, I guess, really. Both Mum and Dad were never happier than they had the house for the grandchildren or.
They just love to have people enjoying the things that they like.
The dapple grey rocking horse. I think it was a favourite of Queen Victoria's, was the so the fashion sort of came off the back of that.
If you need help, just
There's a lot of rocking horses. There's some good early ones. There's probably some that possibly Georgian in date. Certainly a lot of Victorian ones there. Really good ones. What an interesting job.
Loading the rocking horses will have to wait though, as Pete and Nick have finally arrived and they're ready to attack the caravans.
1, 2, 3. Can we play it? Yeah. Come on, Ian. That's an impressive load. That's good.
With the wagons on their way back to Kirby Moor's, Pete turns his attention to the 30 rocking horses and other childhood toys. While Angus does a final check for any hidden treasure in the outbuildings.
Things I have to do for my job. You've got to look at places like this. Quite often this is where the jobs are. Would you look at that?
Angus spies what looks like a pair of huge golden candlesticks.
Some gilt wood. Jack's opened this sort of gilt work on the wood there. They're a bit damaged. But you know what? Those two are saleable.
There are bigger things up here too.
Well, normally I wouldn't get excited about a piano, but this isn't an ordinary piano. This is something quite special. Sort of street pianos, you know what I mean? Transport along and entertain people. So this all comes out. We've got a maker's name there, Heath. House and Co. Limited, London. He was piano maker and street piano maker. And you've got this big barrel here with all these little metal pegs on it, and that's basically the tune. And you'd wind that up, and it would go off these, and there's 10 different songs on it. I'm sure you'd be able to get it playing again with a little bit of TLC. Hopefully, we'll have a merry tune to dance to on Saturday.
That piano is a great find. What else can Angus unearth in here?
Well, we've got some interesting things today. We've got this, it's a dog cart.
Looks like a pile of green firewood to me, Angus.
Okay, a little bit rotten. Dogs would have pulled this, not horses. So very small. Could have used it for taking bits to market or moving things about. And the sides have gone. But somebody will buy that chassis.
He's good at spotting diamonds in the rough, is our Angus. Before the team can ride off into the sunset, or at least back to the auction house, Steve and Glynis take a new look at their family home.
Solid space. Solid space camera on here. Let's see how big the house is. Now it's empty.
It's just odd.
It's different, I suppose. The house has been full, it's always been crammed with these things, and now you see it empty.
Someday make use of all of that.
Yeah, sure.
Hopefully enjoy.
Just like on which one makes is easiest for you. It's good to know that they really don't care about the game, because if they said that we're going to do an update, they should do nothing decent.
You have a collection of property horses, which becomes a wonderful collection that people travel to and let the efforts go to. Not every place like this. It's what makes the job interesting. Just makes it very challenging.
When everyone's home and caning the internet, EE Broadband can keep up. More people are choosing EE Broadband. Switch to the UK's fastest growing broadband provider.
Setting the right mood at home shouldn't be fussy or complicated. Try Eric Essential Mist. It effortlessly creates relaxing ambience, wrapping you in an amazing fragrance to complete the moment.
Look on whichever one you want.
Now
I
that's
guess
a breath of fresh air.
whichever one's the easiest thing to get for you. Work on that, because it'll be the best thing for you. I don't really care about the chemical whatever. I don't care about.
Enjoy all day comfort with the Belvia Seamless Bra from KML. With its stunning W-shaped stretch support system, wide straps, and V-shaped neckline, it comfortably fits, supports, shapes, and hides unwanted bulges, creating a smooth silhouette without the uncomfortable underwires. Available in white platform. With the Seamless Comfort Bra, only $19.99 for access boots, Morrison's
Who's been in my decades?
Work on whichever one you can max, or which one is the easiest tokens to get.
Where everything's done proper.
Feel the difference with that fresh blade. The last time, after time, after time. Gillette Labs, our best ever razor, with up to 30 smooth shaves per cartridge. The skin everyone wants to touch. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Why do people overvote for
Sally
Facebook?
here probably wants to know how her taste the different strawberries are all hand selected to be perfectly ripe, sweet, and juicy. Let's find out.
They're proper nice then.
Oh, proper nice indeed. Sainsbury's Taste the Difference. Good food for all of us.
I love that Just Wash Berry freshness. I just don't want it to fade. Now I've found berries in wash semi-boosters. Simply add directly into the drum before every wash. For mild freshness that lasts and lasts, even after 12 weeks in storage.
If you enjoy, you can.
After cuddle. They're dermatologically tested and suitable even next to sensitive skin. Fairy Scent Boosters for mild freshness that lasts and lasts.
This experience, and I'm so relieved to say,
TLC or 3 inches of reflux. This is Vintage Farm.
Right, so yeah, just go and which of tokens you can get easiest, because it will help you a lot when you've most out. Believe me.
Oh yeah, you made him have lived in Manchester.
We've got so many relics. I mean, what's the point?
Well, he don't fucking travel, he lives in Manchester. What's the road says that,
So many relics. You have to think people are actually gonna sit down and go random. Are they stupid?
Really time to spare some off, as he has a whole herd of horses to get through before the auction catalogue is published.
Well, rocking horses, unless it's one that
Stephen
a rare one.
arrived in Kelvin Woodside to see what the biggest make of their parents' unusual collections.
Hello. Hi. How's it going? Good.
How's the other side? Did you be answering that? What do you think they're going to think?
I don't know if that's going to translate to business. A little bit. In fact, nobody knew. I'm a little nervous.
Special items in this auction.
You could become a duke, well, as well.
There are 799 items in the auction, and I will be talking about many online too. Heather, and Jackie. Stephen Glynny's have 60 lots in the auction, and Angus starts with the extended
There's at least some game
beginning with a carved
stuff
grey horse with its original tack. The style
which is
is
so
by
much.
Queen Victoria.
What to be 95, 100, 100.
We all know Queen Victoria likes to ride.
110, thank you. 110, 120, anywhere is it now? The Dapple Grey at £110, selling at 110.
Bought online by a local
Yorkshire bidder. Next up is the Victorian Tricycle Horse, and Sandy has a phone bidder on the line.
Lovely thing there at 55 and 55 and 55.
And he's off.
That's 60 pound and 65, 70, 70, 75, 75, 80, 80 pound it is then at 80, 85 pound, 85 pound, I'm going to go 85 pound, 90, 90 on the left, 90, 90 pound, 90.
An online bidder wins it by a nose. And the Tricycle Horse is up to a new home field. They'll keep on coming with a 19th century wooden horse bidder. New owner. Next, an example of the classic horse on the design. Traveling down to Gloucestershire, and on the home street with 2 cars, 1 horse. 17 horses are galloping off to new homes. Now it's the turn of the gilt candlesticks that Angus found in the summer loft. Locked up the cargo. He said that's a part of the 6,000. There's a lot of interest online.
30, 32, 35, 38, 42, 55, 65, 75,
But there's an even number there.
Wind of
120, 130, 140. 140 it is, then at 140 pounds it is. We all done at 140 pounds, and I'm selling at 150, 160, 160, at 160, selling at
get this one up one level.
The candlesticks will stay local, having been bought by a bidder just 7 miles up the road in Pickering. Angus moves on to the wooden dog cart.
30 pounds, 30 pounds, 50, 55, 55, 60, 5, 80, 90.
It's always up above the base. It's all right.
And I thought it was a useful project. Now it's time for talks with piano. Will the bidders be dancing to the tune? Angus doesn't think this should sell for less than 600, so let's observe.
500 pounds solid. 500 pounds. 440, 60, 480, 500, 560, 580, 580, 580, 580, 580 pounds, surely any of that 580.
The piano fails to meet its reserve. It means Angus will hold it back for another day. Hopefully the star attractions of the auction will stare better as Angus moves on to the 4 Hilltop caravans. Traditionally, Hilltop caravans were painted green to camouflage, so our loudly painted caravans have caused quite the stir. Potential bidders have come from far and wide. Will this be the big bids? Angus starts with a twin-door caravan. Bit of Julie. What's the caravan without a canvas? Originally from the famous Appleby horsemen. Nice try, yes.
580, 600, 640, 680, 700, 700, 740, 780, 800, sir.
May not have a roof.
920, 920, 940, 940, 960, 960, 980. At 960, at 960.
The roofless caravan. Angus moves on to the blue caravan with the inward opening door. But will the luck of the Irish be with him?
£1 for a bid, thank you, 1 minute. At 1,000, at 50 in there.
1,000
50 anywhere is in there. At £1,000, 50, thank you, madam. 1,050, green bid at 1,050. 1,100, thank you. 1,150, madam. We all done at 1,150. 1,200, they up just a minute, 1,200. 50, get through. 1,500, we have to have you now to green bid at 1,250, that doubles up at 1,250.
The condition of this is much more valuable. We have one more pound and a bag of red tea. It's time for the final lot. The excellent top caravan.
£700 it is then. 740, 800, 820, 900, 950, 1,000. All done online.
That maybe says to me a lot. We're on the way, and I'm telling you.
1350, yes, 1550, 1500, 1550, thank you. All done. Anything else now? At 1550 it is 1600. 1650, at 1650 it is doubles up at 1,650.
So, the last caravan today. 3 of them bought by lucky yet determined bidder June.
We're coming up with these 3 duplicate caravans for the travellers. That's going to be our big caravan. And then this is going to be for me. And I just feel like getting away from it all.
She seems delighted with her purchases. But will Stephen Glynis be happy with the money that Angus has made them today?
How much is it, Matt? About £5,000.
Create a little excitement. Yeah, exhausted.
It could be like 11 and that'll be like 15 or something.
Wow.
Oh, well done.
What's this piano as well? Just a little bit.
I was a little bit nervous before the sale, because we've had a lot of interest and would that translate to bids. And actually, on the caravans, I'm delighted they sold really well.
Running an auction house takes a huge team, and Angus is passionate about training new staff in all areas of the job.
Originally, this would have been a transfer pattern, but this is very much printed.
Today, he's taking the newest member of the team, Jasper, out on his first clearance.
I'm going to test your packing skills today, Jasper. Our cards, wrapping them really well. If you do a good job, you can do all Christmas presents. Fantastic.
It's 70 miles south to Doncaster, where Angus and Jasper are set to encounter a fairy tale collection.
Nice. Carriers, didn't it?
We were in bed last night because our couple's clock had stopped jamming.
Off the fight, I ain't never going back. So free, so sick, I ain't never going back.
She's at the door.
She's at the door. That's what she's selling me. It's the couple clock.
Taking over the
There's no going back.
You're going to lights light up because you're next to
Oh, yeah.
On a 10-pound plan.
I told Nikki the little time.
The party was a big success. Unlike the washing
Well,
line.
not
With this other liquid, the bubbles go in a jiffy. So you have to use more. But with Fairy, we guarantee bubbles that stay and stay and are proven to keep cleaning and cleaning. In fact, Fairy lasts up to 2 times longer than the next best-selling liquid in cool water. So you get double the amount of sparkling dishes. That's Fairy economy.
No fireworks, isn't it? No. Nobody's having a birthday party. Paris is closing, there's no fireworks.
Perry, part of the Perry range.
Problems with grey hair? There is a solution. Alpecin Grey
This is her when she went home.
shampoo that makes grey hairs darker each time you use it.
Ooh, did you notice? Yes, I slept with my nana.
Attack more grey. Amazon Grey Attack. Introducing Grey Attack Bigger Temples. Targets a noticeable
Because it's stupid. It's easy for you to get to.
Voltron. For up to 12 hours to help keep you moving. Voltron, the joy of movement.
Someone put on Facebook. Someone says, "Oh, can anybody manage to get some slam dunk tickets?" Oh, I don't ever get
Quiet your mind mouth. That's
well, we sit on the hill just outside house.
The Simba Hybrid mattress, featuring over 5,000 tension-relieving aerogloss springs.
What is that?
You need to housing on brand new love.
Francis Bourgeois, no strings. But his petrol head friend Chris doesn't.
I haven't got a clue how to
Yay.
I mean,
With 6 months of hard graft,
that's impressive. Looks like you're milking a really aggressive cow.
supersized machinery,
Look at the size of these things.
socket heaven, and learning the lingo, get Chris on board.
That's more batteries. Let's start again.
To bash. Brand new Francis Bourgeois and Chris will take the train. Tuesday night, of course.
Angus and Jasper are on their way to today's date.
Robson, John, who suddenly lost his mind. So he was thinking about the and tried to learn things. And she was even a member of the Potter Club. Club? Yeah, there's a club.
Wow. They're heading to meet his John lost his
As a result, what is on?
1946,
Looks
we
like a
started
troll.
school. Primary school. I had 15 years. Girl had beautiful long green hair. He got married, and then a month later,
Pearl's passing left a huge behind, helping that couple help him sort her treasure collections and give him space in the house for when family stay.
I come on this week. The Pearl was the only woman I ever loved. I miss the two of them.
House collection fills the cabinets downstairs and an entire spare room.
And this will be in a minute to put a goal in. To make it feel a lot better.
There might be an update in there that somebody needs to complete a collection. I think it's a good idea.
Morning, you alright?
Yeah.
Very well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Welcome.
Can you make it so that when you just
Yeah.
This potentially is the
75 and there's the 2.
Oh, it's nice in the bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, some more invisible. Yeah. Wow, that's great. Go get Jasper gathered up.
can't really just looking at outside of them books, you can't tell if
You're right, Jack.
you're
We'll need to some packing paper and some boxes. Yeah. There's a couple of cabinets of it.
That's the remind me how long it's taking to get.
I'm going to packing paper.
It's heavier than
The world of the Victory Spotter is magical. It's captured the imaginations ever since the books were written, and they were a huge success. It started with, of course, Peter Rabbit, Walter Rabbit in the Blue Jackets. Now, I think it's all made under license originally when they went to the early ones and then they came to Royal Albert. So these ones here are fairly Royal Albert ones. So this goes back to copyright 1992. So the old one, so all these figures, basic one could be £10 each. Royal Albert one, £5 to £10. Yeah, people will look at. Stamps. What the interesting is snapshot front. We'll see what we've got. And some of those you have stamps recently, simple and stuff like that make them slightly more valuable.
Is a penny bird, the world's first defensive stamp, issued
I know that's not the only going up down there stairs now.
So it's to be hard for him, but it's good that he's got his daughter there to support him. And I really hope that we can do Pearl's collection of justice, find some good new homes for it, and also get some good results for John.
Not unless that was to find some sort of rare. Like an album, and then it went on the week later saying that. And the one they could have come with one.
Introducing new maximum protection for one skin in long lasting.
Yeah.
It's time for
Yes.
Worried about
Yeah, well, like I said, I say it's 25,000. You'll pay 1,000.
Targets 3 times more harmful cat bacteria
Unless you're going
and
to sell
creates
it.
a protective shield to help prevent gut.
well, this is one
You pay 1,000. Well, if you're going to sell it, then it's worth 3,000. If you're not selling it, you spend 1,000. You just exactly. And then I'm going to be thinking, just sat there and I spent 1,000 quid on it. It's all not me up. So you don't have to pay so much.
Two degrees and he's running by the Friday he won't stop Martin before the road trap. He's committed. Let me get you in taxi.
Brand new Francis Bourgeois and Chris Harris. We Save the Train, Tuesday at 9 on Quest. We'll stream on Discovery Plus.
Tonight on Quest, a trumpet that catch spirits high in World War II hasn't been played in 50 years. The Repair Shop is new to us at 9.
Back at Kirby Moorside, Pete and Nick are helping Jasper unload the van.
How is the space in there for us,
particles and 257 litres, which all need to be filtered up and cataloged. While the lads continue unloading, Agnes wants to know if there's anything worth writing about in Pearl's stamp collection.
It's 10 times 15 times every year. This is we just sold for over 6 weeks now. Rates of 56, the British Guardian, the other centre, which is the south. And Pearl structure in fact, we've got structure. Because I've just got to flick through and make sure we're not missing that 16 now.
Okay. Meanwhile, on the scale of the floor, George and Charlotte are going through the hospital.
Yeah, but one of the reasons I like the stamp is for
Also, several says that we live George, lots of the things it says. Holding up photograph described and uploaded to the online platform for the auction between these
Imagine in value between 40 and 60 and people have been
to Pearl's huge collection.
So move to carry
I think you'd have had us.
to say the actual bread or I can't carry you. please do say the actual word you want them to do, because, yeah, as I did say yesterday, I do not watch anime.
Pearl first started collecting stamps when she was a girl, and John was with her every step of the way.
I got
really on a table.
oh, I got pretty pile of fruit. Alright, yeah.
It will look very different for it did in the house to what it does in the cell. We've had a lot of stamp enthusiasts and collectors coming and viewing the stamps. We've had a lot of inquiries about the lots of Beatrix Potter books. So, we've done so well.
With 799 lots in today's auction, it's time to get cracking. Jasper has now done his portrait jacket.
Just let me know which one you want into grind and I'll be able to do it.
Most bids usually come in online, but lots of potential bidders have turned up in person today. Is it a good sign? Pearl's pieces have been sorted into 71 lots, and Angus kicks off with a huge collection of Beatrix Potter memorabilia. First up, some of the basic figurines produced from 1948.
There's all sorts in there.
I need like 8,000 more of that just to get that done. Which you should get if this person wants to grind it. But they need to have like a new raid here, and they need to like decrease the amount of strength you need to kill these. Because, yeah, it's kind of stupidly insane.
This bidder's obviously a big Beatrix fan, and it's all between him and a bidder online.
42 pound, 42 pound, 42, 42 pounds.
Our determined room bidder edged out his competition. Over the next 30 minutes, Angus sells half of Pearl's figurines.
£30 straight in,
I
thank you.
should get something good
At £25.
with how much I've saved. I should get secret at least.
£165. The other half failed to reach
I forget, guys, I might need to FK grind this person tonight. And I can FK hatch, which will be good. But if I don't get guys, I'll have to FK grinding tonight for the relic as well as the as well as the tokens.
Well, they're going to be killing themselves to reach £1,000 here, aren't
that also had a lot of interest.
What's that stamp really?
That translate into bits.
What is it?
Right, so we've got to do all that right now. So.
£90 listed at 95, 100, thank you. Up £100, we are at 110. Up 110 it is then 110, 120, up 130, at £130 it is then at 130. £140 to the books, 150, thank you, 150. 150 it is, 160, 160, 160. Up 160, don't miss out on these books, lovely set. Up 160, have a lovely lifetime collection. Gavins up, no taking up selling. Up 60.
That was the older ones. Yeah.
It looks like some people are up for spending big cash on a reminder of their childhood. In this case, an online bidder in Tetbury. Angus moves on to Pearl's lovingly curated stamp collection.
Fantastic collection there. A lifetime's work here, there we go.
Beginning with 9 stamp albums from African nations.
£50 a bit at 50 it is, then at 50, 55, 55, I've got 60, one more. 5, 65, and it's then at 65.
Followed by 12 stamp albums from Asia, including China, Indonesia, and Hong Kong.
70 bit, £70 at 70 at 75, 80, £80 at 80 at 85, it is then at 85.
You think she looks like her?
Oh, yeah. And finally, onto the first day covers. Pearl's 23 albums have been split into 2 lots.
12 albums of the British first aid covers and stamps there. There we go, all the first aid covers. A lot of interest in this one. I can start up 100, 110, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 220, 220 it is. On commission at 220, 230. Commission for all that. On the road at 230. Any advance now, 240, 240, 250. 260, 270, Ruben at 270.
There's a bidding war between the
It's a bidding war! 270 in the room, you're all offering 280. 290, thank you, sir.
But who will win?
300. Thank you very much, sir. 300 pounds, 300 is. Any advance at 327.
He still is.
Ruben at 320. I've done it at 320. Thank you, sir. Look at that smile.
No joke, John. Those stamps delivered a great result. And there's more. Another 11 albums.
I've got 220, 220, 230 commissions out, 240, 240, 250, 280,
Thinking the worthwhile one.
290, 300, 320, 320, 320. I'm sorry, then. 320.
Finishes. Auction is over. The last of Pearl's stamp.
Yeah, but I think keep it. I know I'm just
Just retired. Interested in it. Do a good deal on
He's been happy. Howard.
Hello? Well, today you will get away so they've done good results in that, you know, the box they flip.
As we go past the red world of
Really?
this is a question we need. This is going to be, I tell you, survival. This we can get to the end.
Survival, always bodes well, doesn't it? That means they're going to be spinning up at track when they're going out corners.
That is going to be the main job today. Keep wandering forward and see if we can trip over, and we'll hope to catch some drivers a little bit later on. And then we watch them all get off the roof, put their headphones on, talk to the factory. And today will be, as I say, much more intense. Well, Pablo, are you working? How are you? Yeah, good. You having fun?
Loving it. Yeah, I think this is going to be an amazing race because of the conditions. As you see, the sky is getting wetter and wetter and wetter. So much maybe and amazing to come here with no reference, sorry to make mistakes.
Yes, sir. You see what happens.
You there?
We'll keep moving back. A little bit later on. We could, let's see, we could fly, let's start. France. What's it like out there? What sort of conditions and everything? Program. Well, you got it right. There must be something. Or even just at that speed. power. Good one. That is home at rule 3. Just worked out where I am. I'm in front of Jimmy Antonelli and George Russell. So we're moved to the road. Under the rope just yet. We've got 3.5 minutes. Thank you very much. Didn't get under the rope. There's George. We've had a lot of George's time. But so I think we have plenty of George's time today. I don't see Lewis is around there anymore. And then we'll grab him. Let's see if we can wait for.
Oh, that means it's going to for a lot more.
Yeah. Is this Emily? Yeah. Emily Hampshire. Stevie van der Course in Schitt's Creek. Lovely. You like a bit of Formula 1, I
Yeah, I'm basically a driver now. Taking me a shirt, I saw the engineers, and I brought this for you. Came all the way here to bring it. It's a Canadian chocolate coffee crisp.
Oh, thank you. I've never been given a gift on the grid before. That's really lovely. Thank you very much. Other brands available, I'm sure. So you're with Mercedes this weekend. So either of those two you're cheering for? Or
Yeah, sure.
For the team?
Just got plenty, I think you mean.
Well, like, I can't decide between Kimmy and
both sides your cap.
Yeah, so I can't. They're both going to win.
She started. Oh, joy.
Lovely to talk to you. Thanks for supporting Formula 1. Let's see if Sergio, what can you tell us about the track?
If we start, I'll just join you. Which is good.
Is it more wet out the back than it is on the grid here? Because it doesn't look like it's here. Yeah, it's also out the back.
This is on.
Okay, thanks for your time. Got a minute.
Yeah. No, let's just try to build it.
Anybody else?
It's real.
Franco, you've got about a minute. I'll walk with you. All good? How's it feeling? You're really getting on form in this Formula 1 business. Slippery. It's very slippery. I think we're a little bit nervous. Is that good? Ça va bien, merci. And
so yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, where's that all then?
Lando, all good? It's going to be sliding.
I'm a little bit worried because it's sliding. Every single driver said sliding.
This racetrack. We've got a bit of a league table here as to who can come up with the slipperiest phrase, but we've got 10 seconds to go. It is a wonderful Grand Prix. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these amazing drivers do.
Dr. O.
And then I'll be running back to the cars. Bye. Somebody wants to go. We open it just for misty 5 p.m.
Always when you start your mind to sorry, can I just ask you what are the conditions like out there on that night today? What about your house, right? Like, is it mixed conditions to have?
And I can't give more confidence that also does not there's a priority for the main to be present, especially if it's my conditions. So, yeah, we expect to be leading after that. So, it was what you were. Just make sure
The messaging was to Martin as they approach the anthem that it is very slightly out there today.
Okay,
Not a lot of grip. Not a lot of grip.
No, I understand the driver's logic on the Hippocop very, very, very slippery, which is good for us, I guess. Not interesting.
No, it's the view. It's just a quick one on the messaging that you've given Toto to your two drivers after what happened in the sprint.
Imagine being called so.
No, I think what we see is race each other. Consider the other drivers the competitor, and not necessarily all.
But again, these two up front, these two Mercedes drivers.
And that's fine.
What do you think the biggest challenge is going to be today?
Well, the all drivers are really, really competitive.
Sorry?
Because they're two cars that fit well. He'll be looking at he's managing it. He'll be looking at they're going to push it too far.
Yeah, I'll do that. We're starting more with Korea's being called. So, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Thanks. Let's go to let's go back.
From last year, sitting around the first couple of corners, it's a sequence of goals, but one is easy to do the other. I'm just going to slow it down. Keep an eye.
Then they all go on that side, and when they all come down this side, don't they?
You can see there's one in front of Lando Norris. Now, it's all lost a bit of ground to turn one. But when you're on that outside part of the track, it's tough. In that position, it'll be hard. You need. We heard Lando and Jordan that you're doing Ferrari. Another reason that we saw it. Ferrari is very good. This was first in China. Around it was a restart. Yeah, he could choose. He could find things in the track. Watching front of him, as George Russell struggling, scrambling, not struggling for traction. The rear that Mercedes moving around. Lewis, meanwhile, and Rick with nobody else there. They, for whatever reason, the Ferrari design, whether suspension, whether aero, they're very good at firing up the tire. They can put energy into the tire for these temperatures. It's why you recognize they've got a very good chassis because of downforce. So when you go over it, they're going to be very strong. So watch out. Only 16 degrees on track, 23 degrees colder than the United States. Thank you.
Is it guys just got a little bit heavy? Just feel the drizzles just strengthening. It's a real decision.
I'm not sure. I've been
It's a driver's
bad
weather.
dots, so
The best is going to prevail today, but it's so tough out there. And actually, they just threw some stuff on the grid, and underneath it, you can see the dry patches. So actually, more than I think we think. So if they're on slicks,
in
it's
the air
going
for
to be
another
so
some
tough.
minutes.
Fun today, Bernie.
Very to be a fan. I think on the pit wall,
hour and a half or 2 hours. It's going to be cold and windy there, but it's going to be a really interesting race. There's going to be a lot to watch out for here because nobody can settle for even a millisecond.
I mean, anyone's in this, right? Anyone.
Exactly. Some of the guys at the back of the grid are going to be really enjoying these conditions. I think the Mercedes, one of my friend plain sailing drive race, but he's going to be super exciting.
George Russell leading one at
George
Mercedes.
was hoping it was going to be simple today because he needs a victory desperately after his
English driver.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to watch out for, particularly at the start here. These slightly lower grip conditions. Who is going to get that launch off the start line correct? They've not done a start like this before.
Well, what a way to finish your Sunday. I know it's been a beautiful weekend back in the UK. Bank holiday Monday tomorrow. Why don't you sit back and enjoy this one? Because, as I said, this could be absolutely
Audi sponsors Formula One on Sky Sports.
Shower, put this on, but I like to watch the game. Fantastic.
If that black cat's in back garden again.
Maybe I'll get slightly double. That's what I'm going to do.
Telemetry updating and stable. Copy. Continue pre-race check. High-performance drivers and IT managers like Joe here don't wait for things to go wrong. They anticipate. Real-time data is vital to avoid issues.
Just come back to
Deliver proactive IT. Team Fuel One fix it before they feel it.
Happy birthday again. Here's a cake and some friends. What if we actually celebrate Julia in her love of sex, or her elegant style, and the home she gave Alfie? Raise this from
Domino's new Italianos range. Fancy flavours in a crust. Order now.
talking us through the action today here in Montreal. Ted Kravitz is in the pit lane. Bernie Collins is perched up on the pit wall. Is up in Sky Race Control. Coach Martin Brundle and David Croft. Mercedes are locked out the front row of the grid. Could be in for a thriller.
Nice.
Take it as a compliment, I guess. It's easy Formula One. George Russell wins the Australian Grand Prix. For Mercedes, it's a 1-2 victory. Kimi Antonelli takes that second place.
You consider Kimi a possible title fight?
Yeah. What just happened?
George is a killer. What makes him so good is that he never sleeps.
Turning out to be all that he was hyped up to be. George got right up his hands to this 19-year-old kid beating him.
Nice. Right. So I've got to get viral. So I don't have it. I'm sorry, how do you get viral?
I'm just looking through Yorkshire Post books, the 10 worst doctors' surgeries in Leeds. That's the 7th. That's the top 10.
Than this circuit, which was chilly the first time we raced here in 78. It's very, very chilly here today too. Just 12 degrees air temperature, 16 degrees track temperature, and rain falling still around this 2.71 mile circuit. Very tough lap to go for our 22 drivers here this afternoon as Mercedes lock out the front row once again, separated by just 68 1,000ths of a second. The tyres are a step harder than the compounds that we used last year. That's not helping the tyre. Warm up the tyre, ripping it, so it's sliding away. C5, C4, and C3, the tyre compounds. That's the current scene, and the track is the slightly damp bit in between the wet bits all around it. We're on the heel.
Never forget her first when she went to that school with us and the locked out girls.
Here's the starting grid. 21 drivers lining up on it. It's Mark Stroll, Travis Battery, starts at the
Yeah, when we come out, we all three said it. That's the same thing.
Perez and Cadillac 20th, both having their lowest ever starting places here in Montreal. Fernando Alonso is 19th and ahead of him. Alex Albon for Williams and Esteban Ocon for Haas out in Q1 for the first time in 2026. Ollie Ben, worst qualifying session for Haas this season is only 16th. Carlos Sainz 15th to the top 10 of the sprint. Pierre Gasly starts 14th, first time he's not reached Q3 since Australia. It's 13th for Gabriel Bortoletto and 12th for Liam Lawson, who can take part of the sprint quali. And Nico Hulkenberg's 11th for the 6th time on the grid this season. Franco Colapinto 10th as he ready to Q3 for the second race weekend in a row. Arvid Alban alongside him, then Charles Leclerc for Ferrari and Isa Hadjar for Red Bull. Only 28 seconds away from the man in 6th place, Max Verstappen, who shares row 3 with Lewis Hamilton. He's out-qualified Leclerc in both sessions this weekend. It's all McLaren's second row as it was yesterday for the sprint. Oscar Piastri once again out-qualified by Lando Norris, and Kimi Antonelli on the front row alongside George Russell, his third consecutive Grand Prix pole here in Montreal. Very different conditions yesterday, Martin Brundle. Who knows what's going to happen this afternoon?
And very different combinations on the grid as well. Soft tyres on the front row. Intermediate tyres for the two McLarens on the second row.
Basically,
And then the Ferraris and the Red Bulls on the seat tyres. That's that's a massive difference of interpretation. As we can see holding the umbrella there. We really are just on the cusp of the champ of free dry there, as I see it on my grid box. But then further back to the intermediate tyres of the 20 degree. We've also got Liv Black collar pit, so that's the on medium compound tyres. If you can get those soft tyres up and running, then quite a good race time in these conditions, but you've got to get there first. So really different ideas out there as to just how much grip there's going to be. And I can imagine that the McLaren's
One night.
probably a little bit more
It's a drone with a camera.
poncho to be grandstands there across the
One time we used to have a helicopter, didn't we? Weather about helicopter couldn't go up, we used to have to just hold it on drive level. But now that's with that drone, you just flying back.
Our McLaren fighting on an early or some instance in the first half. Despite attempting absolutely get on the driver, keep cars circling, and it rolls down in dry tires. There should be dry tires.
On his laps to the grid, Oscar Piastri was asked about the tyre choice, and he did say that intermediates might not be a bad way to go here. And we've got a headwind into turn 1, a headwind into the final chicane. The very
strong tailwind into the headwind and down that part of the track, Martin, I think it's a bit wetter, and that tailwind causing at least 3 drivers of Iceland to lock up on their lap to the grid.
Absolutely. I mean, this is one of the races I've talked about the next. When they're not driving in it, it's going to be indeed. It hasn't been declared a race in any way, shape, or form. That means that everybody's obliged to still use 2 different compounds of dry tyre at this time, despite them starting on the inters, as I understand the regulations. But it's about surviving. It's about getting through these laps.
Well, I was going to ask that question. McLaren then are setting themselves up for at least a 2-stop racing.
That's the way it looks to me.
Yeah, it's a 50% chance of breaking the carbon during the race. And the situation is, you can see a few spots on the camera. The rain is light drizzle. It's just hanging around. The wind is blowing some spots in. There's your previous winners here. George Russell winning from pole here last year. Max Verstappen from the front row the previous year, and the 2 before that winning from pole himself. 2 seconds. Oscar Piastri says, I feel like floating around quite a bit on these tyres already. We'll go to Karun in a couple of moments. I'm not surprised, Martin. But it's both dry in parts. Have McLaren gone the wrong way here?
If the race was up and running, you'd never dream of coming in, putting intermediates on. So it's an unusual decision. Let's see if it pays any kind of dividends in the first lap or 2.
I think we'll give it a lap or 2 before we're deciding.
Those grooves in my intermediate tyres right now.
So I mean, they'd have to do a 2-stop instead of just a 1-stop. Like having 20 seconds on your tyre now.
Stella there looking at the ground.
If the ground don't grip the tyres, they have to change it.
Maybe their weather forecast said there would be a bit more rain coming in for the start of this race. And there is Lance Stroll out in Q1 and out
Well, they have,
contention as he
if
starts.
you look at their tyres, it's probably rather not like dry weather tyres. If it started raining, they'd have to come in and put them on the track on, you know, what we expect.
On the grid, so we'll get the pre-race start procedure. McLaren, row 2, Mercedes, row 1, dry tail tyres for Russell and Anthony. Intermediates, starting
Oh, nice up there. Oh, my God. Whoa. There you go. Somebody will have to come on and push it.
It's one really deep again, something a bit more of clutch. I'm surprised it didn't work, to be honest.
Oscar forecast the rain should ease from here. Everyone's going to have very cold tyres.
Yeah, but I think now, I think it is time for slicks. So should we just Fox?
Yeah, just get on the right tyres because they're going to have to come
If you enjoyed your camp,
intermediates if the rain doesn't come back.
Sometimes it can start out as a split lane.
On the other side of the country, they would have been like to tell them that there's an extra formation
I got that.
Otherwise, he'd be in somebody's grid
I
slot,
got that,
and
which is
they
insane.
can't start the race until that car's absolutely clear. Bernie, what are you making of all of this?
Yeah, a few things, Martin. I think you're right. They might need to do another formation on here if they can't get that car quickly enough off the grid. The McLaren Hickory behind me are readying themselves. And then finally, one thing to add just on regulation. If a car uses an intermediate or a wet in the race, it does not have to run.
Says they might have to do another formation.
So in a race condition, it doesn't get declared a wet track. The drivers decide for themselves. But if they run an inter or wet, they don't need to use two sets of drivers.
Not committing to that two-stop strategy. So let's let them fire out it.
Problems on a track that is drying out here, and the wind is
Not like it won't
helping the track dry out a little bit. As you can see, the marshals having to go right to the final chicane to get Arthur Lindblad's car back into the pit. Now they've done that, and everyone is now lined up on the grid, so we might be able to get going. 69 lap race here because we've had the one extra formation lap, and somewhere somebody's got a green flag. There he is, Big Dave at the back. We wait for him to wave that green flag, but I think we're going to get an extra formation lap actually because they just sat there for a very long time. And the longer they sit there, Martin, so the tyres drop temperature.
That's been in the clutch, yeah.
Colder, so I think for the best chances of getting a clean first lap in, that's why the FIA have decided, race director decided we'll have an extra formation lap.
And Lando was radioing and saying, I've got I'm showing yellow flags on my dash, I can't start the race like this. So the system has gone a little bit out of sync, hasn't it? They need to reset that, get everybody back again. These all count for the race distance. They have to, otherwise they'll not have enough fuel to a very specific amount of distance for this Grand Prix. But we're still yet to get the race itself underway, and I'm pretty sure if McLaren and their two drivers could have their chances again, they would be on slick tyres right now. Ted.
Well, they've got another chance now. They could box. It seems like Oscar Piastri is the only one who actually knows what's going on with the tyre choice at McLaren. They've got another choice. Trying with this formation lap to start from the pits. They could do that. What a shame for Arvid Lindblad, guys.
So, Oscar, our tyres have dropped quite a lot. Everyone on soft must have very cold tyres by this time.
Yeah, but if we fit now, we will have cold tyres. We will have warm tyres. So I don't know. It's these are a mistake, yeah.
There you go. That's what we wanted to hear. You know, he's finally said it, plain and simple. We were on the wrong tyres, guys.
Yeah, but they're starting on the inters.
All right, let's just say what shape Lindblad.
The tyres are warm now.
I mean, what McLaren desperately need now.
I don't know if it's going to rain or not. If rain gets worse, they'll all have to change into intermediate tyres.
Otherwise, they're in the pit lane. They might be behind Lance.
But if rain comes and it dries out, then they'll have to go in and change into the slick tyres.
They've now had three laps effectively to the grid, and it's the last thing they need.
Right. Is anyone ready for the start? Do you want to get going? It'd be rather nice, wouldn't it? It's a good time to have some Formula One action, not just formation laps. Let's hope this time.
You could have an injury there with your lights out, but you couldn't actually get away. You go out.
We'll have to have lights working this time.
Or not uttered in the history of my broadcasting career. And it's a day for fun shows. And there's the man on pole, George Russell, pointing to the right-hand side to try and cut off his teammate Kimi Antonelli. And behind these two, and they must be worried that they're on the wrong tyre for the start. The McLarens of Norris and Piastri, and Hamilton and Verstappen take advantage from road three. What is going to happen in this 68-lap Canadian Grand Prix? Third time lucky, everybody. It's lights out, away we go. Russell and Antonelli away. Fast starting.
Whoa, look at him on that side. Whoa, Russell got left behind.
Lando goes into the first corner, keeps that lead from Antonelli.
That's the rule we're talking about. The way he chocolate back. Another English driver.
This Canadian Grand Prix.
He could launch with the inters, and how long can he keep them alive? As I'm sure everybody else just spun up their particularly cold, slick tyres. Let's see what happens.
Oh, where's he going?
all filed through, pretty much in single file, and out in the lead, Lando Norris from Kimi Antonelli and George Russell. There's Norris at the hairpin.
They'll be filming that,
Those
George.
intermediate tyres last before they rest. Start to swallow him up a little bit.
Filming.
Down the back straight we go. Max Verstappen on the tail here of Oscar Piastri, who's already looking in his mirrors, and he can see the Red Bull right behind him, picking up the slipstream. Verstappen wants to go down the inside,
Yeah,
try and pick up another spot here, but he can't. Outbrakes a little bit as the McLaren goes into the pit. Piastri decided what that for racing, and that is enough.
Yeah, by the end of this lap, I'm going to imagine that Lando Norris will also be under pressure. Piastri has been really keen to get that mistake changed.
Bravo, Behrman. What a move from Ollie Behrman there down. Got past the Alpine and the Audi of Gabriel Bortoleto. Picked up two and gone onto the grass a little bit, but he's certainly through. Now the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso ahead here of Bortoleto, and then Pierre Gasly. Then comes Esteban Ocon, and there's skirmishes everywhere. These tyres not up to temperature, and the driver's really struggling to find some traction out of these slow corners. There's your race leader by 0.3 of a second, Lando Norris, but Antonelli has gained on him on this lap.
Antonelli was much braver into the first corner than George Russell was, and that's given him the position of the two.
Him was in front, it's got the same tyres on us.
Will be coming in the pits.
So he'll probably pit now.
That would mean Kimi Antonelli
Change tyres.
this Canadian Grand Prix with George Russell, his teammate behind him. And you know what? By the time we get to the end of the straight, Antonelli might be in the lead anyway.
Because they've got slick tyres on and their tyres are faster.
And as he moves into the pit lane,
They look
Antonelli now
to
leads from George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, and the top three separated by what, 6 or 7 car lengths as they cross the line. And the inside is Antonelli, then George Russell, who thought for one moment might have a little go into turn one. He's got to be careful here. Very nearly makes contact with Lewis Hamilton.
I wonder if Antonelli had a problem coming out of the last chicane because Russell was all over him. But they said we think the Ferrari's going to be fast in these conditions, and Lewis Hamilton certainly is.
Antonelli had lower power out of that final corner than George Russell. It's a deployment issue.
Having said that, Verstappen was 3/4 of a
Yeah,
second
but
quicker than
so you have to change the tyres at least once to all of them. I mean, with him going in too early, he might have to do 2 tyre changes. But if he don't, that'll just count as a tyre change. And when they go in, feel like catching up then.
Out of position of a safety car line have been noted by race control, as have Lawson and Hulkenberg. Which might be the stewards to get a little look there.
Just
Rolls up to the heads of Valtteri Bottas, who's the one remaining driver, still on the intermediate tyres, and the fastest guy, as you can see on the track, is Max Verstappen. Leading though by about 0.6 of a second is Kimi Antonelli, the man who's won the last 3 Grand Prix in a row, and he leads here in Canada as we start lap 4.
They've dropped Max a little bit on this lap, haven't they? But I'd be pretty sure Antonelli made a little mistake coming out of the final chicane on the previous lap, but they're still very close to. Then time around, Antonelli comfortably faster than anybody else. His slick tyres are coming up in temperature. They need to be north of 100 degrees C before they're really melting nicely and biting into the tarmac.
So much going on in these opening stages as Bottas now bids to get rid of his intermediate tyres, and that is Lando Norris going straight on the chicane, or very nearly making contact with the wall.
Very long here.
I tell you what, he's not helping his scores by doing things like that, and already his tyres do look a little bit horrible. And Charles Leclerc's up in the Isaac Hadjar up to 6, Colin Pinto up to 7, Lawson 8, Behrman in the points in 9th, and Alonso in the points for Aston Martin, currently running 10.
I would be able to just get to Roger Dawson down like the place he's done.
For another day. Lewis Hamilton looks like more than capable with the 2 Mercedes in these conditions. Except for a great flight.
I'll probably just
George Russell, half a second behind his teammates as they
nine.
cross the line. Pierre Gasly, we're on board with now.
by 9.
Hold out 5 this
Close
time.
one down.
Kind of close to as he tries to get past Ollie Behrman.
Find out that base tonight in flat.
By 4:30.
We've done 68 laps, so
Sticking as best he can to the two Mercedes.
Something about 100 miles.
It was 9
Everybody
tyres.
who started on intermediate tyres has
This one
changed them
gets
already.
tyres.
But when George Russell sees an action replay of the start after the Grand Prix, he'll see that with Lando Norris coming out of nowhere, he was very cautious into the first corner, and that's what gave Antonelli track position right now.
Down on the pit wall, Bernie Collins. As Max Verstappen goes very deep there. Sorry, Bernie.
No, that's okay. You cut in as soon as you need to, Crafty. But I was just going to say, just a reminder on that McLaren strategy, very, very long. With these cooler conditions, with the slightly slower lap time because of these cooler conditions, can they stretch that medium all the way? That's the big question on the strategy. I don't think so, but don't worry about it. You're right
Last year, as we've gone
Because that one costs like 15.
so what's it harder with the
It was like 5 bill or something.
The problem the McLarens have got back in the pack like that, they're doing 1 minute 20s and 21s,
Yeah.
where the leaders do 1 minute 17s. You're only 5 laps
So, yeah,
into that,
see.
and you've lost the pit stop.
For a minute.
Norris powered his way off the line and into the lead. So far, this is 5 Grand Prix starts. The leader of Blackwall has always come from the second row. Norris got a great start. His teammate Oscar Piastri, horrible for him, going backwards and having the pit earlier than Norris. Let's watch on board with the McLaren. Russell very sluggish off the line.
Yeah, and he moved across to cover off Antonelli, and that opened the way up very nicely for us in the lead there on board. Yeah, just a little bit too low on the revs there for George. He's looking right, and suddenly he's got a pincer movement with.
Here comes George Russell down that backstrap. Look up from Antonelli, who goes off the track, almost hits his teammate, almost hits the wall, somehow survives, and George Russell takes over as a new race leader at the Canadian Grand Prix.
That'll be horrible flat spots on the front tyres of Kimi Antonelli there. That'll give him a lot of vibration in front of his head. Those tyres are very ready to lock again in the same place if you get in too deep into a corner. I suspect what happened there as he got really close underneath for the rear of his teammates. You lose front downforce and you're much more likely to lock the front axle. Speed is coming at.
Yeah, how close was this as Antonelli locked up? Oh, not much between front wing and rear tyre.
Yeah, he put himself right underneath the rear wing of his teammate, and he had some steering locking going left. And of course, the wheel just locks up. So a little bit of a rookie error there. Keep some air going over your front wing. If you dump down, you inevitably take a lot of air off your front wing, and that's going to unload your front tyres.
Reminiscent of Baku, Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo all those years ago when Ricciardo got behind the rear wing of Max Verstappen and the Red Bulls collided with each other. On board with Verstappen, currently in 4th place.
And the key thing there is I'm pretty sure that Russell was thinking about that and using his own situation to make that pass. But he's 1.1 ahead of Antonelli. If he can keep that, Antonelli won't be getting overtaken. Hamilton behind him might just be.
See how those tyres shape up. Kimi Antonelli put a lot of energy through them. The cloud as Lando Norris now up into 13th place. Oscar Piastri is the car behind Lando Norris has made his way up into 14th as Norris now picks up another place. This time it's Alex Albon. Up into 12th goes Lando Norris. Drew Chandler to your race control.
So baffled by this McLaren's battery dropping. Both drivers were saying on the radio this is the wrong thing to do, and they did it anyway. Yeah. Anyway, on Antonelli, he's not complaining about the entire flat spot thing too bad. I have no doubt, like you, that he's got a flat spot, but they're not having a quality immediately. There's no complaints yet.
And he has got within magic 1 second now, and his teammate George Russell could put that to good use as Lando Norris now sees Fernando Alonso and can wave bye-bye to him. 11th place.
The detection point is just into that corner. Was Antonelli within a second of the detection point? Does he get the extra megajoule of harvesting and a higher top speed? Verstappen certainly got some top speed. He is up into third place.
One of those last of the late breaker moves from Max Verstappen getting past Lewis Hamilton into the top three. But he hasn't finished in any of the opening 4 Grand Prix this season. You've got to go back to 2015 for the last time Max didn't make it onto the podium in the first 5 races of the season. That was his rookie year with Toro Rosso. He's not looking like a rookie, but surely the 4-time champion. As Piastri now picks up Alonso into 13. Norris ahead in 11.
But no power, man. Come on, guys.
Deployment issues again for Lewis Hamilton, who suffered a bit with that in qualifying yesterday.
And because Max was behind at the detection point, Max gets the overtake mode for the whole of this lap, even though he's now in front, which will be pretty handy. It means you can harvest more battery power and you keep your top speed longer as well, which is what Russell past Antonelli. Will Antonelli return the compliment if he can get close enough?
Well, that was happening. I think Hulkenberg, who's the soft tyres, has been caught for speeding in the pit lane. Noted for speeding in the pit lane. Could be a 5-second penalty coming his way. So 1 second advantage for George Russell, winner of the sprint yesterday, leads Kimi Antonelli as once again a Mercedes got beaten off the line, but has come back to retake the lead.
Yeah, and with Verstappen and Hamilton having that little squabble on the previous lap, it's given them quite some breathing space, hasn't it? Russell now 3.9 seconds ahead of Verstappen. Max Verstappen needs to get his head down.
Lap 10 of 68. 68 laps, not 70. So we had 2 extra formation laps. Armin Lindblad out of this race. He couldn't get his car into gear, and that's what caused the problems at the start. Russell leads from Antonelli. Verstappen, who before today had only completed 20 laps in the top 3 all season, is currently in third. Hamilton and Leclerc complete the top 5. Bottas has been lapped. That's why he was making his way out of the way. And Ted Gravis will head down to you.
What a great opening phase, though, for the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Franco Colapinto, Liam Lawson, and Ollie Behrman, who I think was up 7 places or something out of the start. They're coming under increased pressure now from Pierre Gasly. Had a nightmare at the start, but Gasly's now got the pace on those cars in front of him.
Yeah, he has. He's gaining on them. He's within half a second of him. Hamilton seems to have got some power back. If he was losing power in that Ferrari, he's chasing after Max.
In the overtake, he was only less than a second behind Max, so Lewis has got some energy back. And this feels like it's their full weekend to me. Mercedes drivers. Russell is more under control. Antonelli a tiny bit faster. This is how it looks to me out there. But George is sort of managing it all better. And keeping track position, and that's how he won the sprint yesterday, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a day though for a very cool, calm head out in front, and not a day to make rash moves or do anything too stupid. Lando Norris pitting on the intermediate tyre along with his teammate Oscar Piastri, and has made his way up now to the fringes of the points. The car ahead of him is Pierre Gasly. You can see it now in the blue and pink Alpine, and Norris gaining on him. That's a big lock up for Behrman, I think, going into that chicane.
To my point earlier on, they are now.
I've got back on and we got like 9:30, which is in 5 minutes.
Down the inside, and so Behrman left the door open for him.
So yeah, I'll be looking to get far up, and then if I'll be looking to get the window.
So he's a pit stop and a half behind, however far he can take these tyres.
And he's going to try and take Pierre Gasly here, and does so. A lot more power coming out of that final chicane. Lando Norris now up into 9th. His teammate Oscar Piastri is getting closer all the time to Alex Albon. He's got a few places to make up. It's not great for Norris to be 36 seconds behind Piastri, 38 seconds. Currently, at least though, lapping in the high 116s. And there, new race leader George Russell is right behind him. Antonelli did get and past George Russell, but to the hairpin. Russell has retaken that lead on lap 12. So that's the second time he's had to get past his teammate. The second time he's made it look easy.
So the overtake's worth about 0.3 of a second, and you can see these playing cat and mouse.
He might be
Down the inside goes Antonelli. That's once again at turn one. They're almost wheel to wheel. The two Mercedes. Russell hangs on by half a metre.
And George Russell went wide, deep in the hairpin. That's why Antonelli's all over him. And went wide in the turn 9 hairpin.
Yellow flag. Momentarily, as Nico Hulkenberg now gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and still the two Mercedes cars barely separated by anything. Down at turn 10, Alex Albon has stopped. We're approaching turn 8-9 here with the two Mercedes. There'll be no overtaking whilst these yellow flags are waving into turn 10. You can see Alex Albon on your screen on the GPS tracker, stationary currently. We're not quite sure why. There's a bit of debris, is there, on the track? Certainly looks that way.
Single wave yellows rather than double wave yellows, so less urgently in need of slowing down.
As Oscar Piastri had a moment with Alex Albon here, because he was right behind him and they're changing the front wing on Oscar Piastri's McLaren, a second visit into the pits for him. And I wonder if he's made contact with the Williams. He's back out again onto the racetrack is Oscar Piastri. And there he is, right ahead of the two Mercedes. John Ferrari is almost a lap down.
I want to see a replay of Russell at the turn 10 hairpin just to see what happened. We didn't see that at all, did we? We suddenly had a new leader in place because Karina Sparrow's controller seen it. That's how I know. He went deep at turn 10. What did you see, Karina? Yeah, he had a massive lockup and went straight into the runoff area, went way deep, and that allowed Antonelli past. You're absolutely right, Rocky, on Piastri. He did run into the side of Alex Albon down at the hairpin. He was trying to pass Ollie Behrman, locked up, and went into the side.
Don't you then tell our lady and you tell Mercedes
I think on the Williams there, from the
they're at each other all the time. They're not. They're racing each other.
Oscar Piastri thought pick off 2 and 1.
For some debris on track somewhere.
We could watch on the left-hand side of your screen. We've got the two Mercedes live in the main picture. Here comes Piastri back straight to the side of Alex Albon. Unfortunate there for Alex Albon. Nothing he could do about that. Completely innocent in that moment.
I wouldn't be surprised if Piastri doesn't take a penalty for that as well. For that contact and not having full control of the car. And these two out front are going at it. Thomas again, aren't they? Just brilliant. Closely watched by the 4-time world champion and the 7-time world champion. And what a history between those two drivers.
Yeah, so far it's advantage Max Verstappen. Lewis complaining about having no power. Verstappen getting through into turn 7. George Russell leads. He's 7/10 of a second clear of Kimi Antonelli. The upgrades working very nicely indeed for Mercedes this weekend, and the two drivers giving us an absolute treat in the racing action. No team orders, gloves off, get on with it, lads, and they certainly are.
Leclerc had a horrible lap just now. He's now 5.4 seconds. Lewis Hamilton.
And crucially, Martin, as Isaac Hadjar right on his tail, heading towards the hairpin. Let's just take a little replay here. It's a lockup, wasn't it, from George Russell? That's why he went deep into the hairpin. And Kimi Antonelli, thank you very much indeed, he said, as Antonelli in real time fighting his way back here down that back straight. And I wonder, are we going to get another repeat of the two Mercedes trying to go wheel to wheel into turn 1? Lap 16 of the Canadian Grand Prix. Russell is just far enough ahead.
Yeah, well, they've both got flat spotted front tyres now. Russell's worse, I would imagine, than Antonelli's. He did a bit of cadence braking, so it stayed within the sort of confines of the circuit, did George Russell, and got away with it and kept his head and did the repass immediately. But, man, they are pushing.
I wonder how long before Toto Wolff feels he might need to have a little radio chat. What is happening here? Lando Norris is coming into the pits, is what's happening here. We've seen him go over the grass. They're not going to get to the end on those tyres.
We need to box this lap. It's a reliability problem.
And it's not a tyre issue at all. This is big disappointment for Lando Norris in Miami last time out. He was on the podium for the first time as the reigning world champion. They're looking in the side pods there, aren't they?
Clearing grass out, I'd imagine. I'd imagine it's overheating. They've got debris grass in the radiator. That's what they were doing in there. Oh, what a miserable Grand Prix this is turning out to be for McLaren.
Yeah, wrong choice at the start, and things have unraveled ever since. Norris place. Currently down in 18th after 2 wins. This is in the one. It's front running on board meanwhile. Antonelli and George Russell struggling for grip out of that slow corner. He won't be the only one today. These cold wilted conditions, but the tyres are just not enjoying.
What's critical for these two is whether the front gets to pit first, if it's a standard pit stop, or indeed, of course, if it's a safety car pit stop, then one will have to diligently pursue behind the other things to stack them. So that's why Russell being desperate to keep this track position and Antonelli desperate to take it away from him.
But is this the day to stop first, or is it the day to stop second? Is the undercut the one to go for, or the overcut the one to go for? Is there a difference? Russell locks on, and Antonelli, for a second time in his race, could take opportunity. No, George Russell didn't go as deep this time around. Antonelli couldn't get past it, but he's got the momentum now down the back straight. He's on point, George Russell. He's just slightly ahead of George Russell. Who's going to be last on the race? Wheel to wheel, and it's George Russell who manages to squeeze through. And that was close, but absolutely brilliant as Russell hangs on.
Yeah, Antonelli took a sensible pick there, Real. Smartly get back in behind rather than trying to break it around the outside. Maybe bounce across the curve, damage the car in some way, but what great racing.
Fantastic. If you're Kimi Antonelli, you're just saying to yourself, keep putting the pressure on, keep putting the pressure on. That's twice he's locked up now. I might get my opportunity again.
Yeah, this is, as I said, all about track position. But every time they do this, Verstappen and Hamilton get half a second to a second. The same. They're coming back it up, so if they carry on with that. For example, down into that turn, good, and that's really good tailwind today as well. Takes you away from another car, get to a decent headwind. Always taking off against the headwind. I think I'm off the mindset. Was also looking at him and of course the championship for being out of position. Doing the formation lap on the girl very quickly. They just skirted the track.
It's a quick one on the series. On top of the 3 hours, that's what you want. In these I tell you what, if we've got a season of this coming up, it's going to be great, isn't it? These two, in between them,
Some Kimi Antonelli, which championship will never want going into the next round. And in Monaco in a couple of weeks' time, on there has been noted 3 yellows, flat improvement. The Stewards are as busy as the Mercedes pit wall and as busy as the 2 drivers behind the wheel this afternoon. And he wants to get Kimi Antonelli. Can he? stay with George Russell close enough, probably not out of that final corner. But let's see as we head down towards turn one. Russell keeps the lead. Keeps the king. And Fernando Alonso is another to be noted for a yellow flag infringement.
Suggesting either they didn't slow down anywhere near enough or they even made an overtake. So, yeah, the stewards take a good view of yellow flag infringements.
So, as keen as but this time it's Ferrari behind Verstappen and really with the Red Bulls. Racing 13, Oscar Piastri, 15. Well, but still at 0.4 of a second. Antonelli, and he's a lot closer, I think, this time around. Antonelli coming out of the head.
Coming up to flags, of course. So he's in the back racing.
Here comes Kimi Antonelli stepping off into a Russell moves across. Coming out of the side box, you can see the second. Absolutely thought about a move. It looks like George Russell will keep that lead.
Yeah, so it's quite through the pack. He's in front. Blue flags.
Six appearances. Champion to get lapped by our leader top 68. Third least distance currently. Always Hamilton goes straight on at the chicane there. Max Verstappen and trying to close in on him. He goes straight on once again. The two Mercedes fighting away down at the hairpin. And once again, George Russell managing to stay in the lead, but for how much longer? Because here comes Kimi Antonelli. And they let him Antonelli moves back into the lead. The Canadian Grand Prix. It is you, sir. You, sir. You, sir. You, sir. As far as Mercedes are concerned. So he was actually Kimi Antonelli. With George Russell currently lap 23. The Italian is back in front.
Again, that critical track positioning as we sort of think about pit stops, or if there's a safety car, it'll be very bad news for George Russell at this point. And it looks like Antonelli is trying to check out a little bit. Russell must stay within 1 second of him to keep that overtake facility.
This might be one of the few times it is like that Kimi Antonelli is happy to see Lando Norris ahead. Because today Lando Norris is almost at a lap down and he leads his Canadian Grand Prix. Meanwhile, in the other McLaren, Oscar Piastri has a 10-time penalty for causing a collision. It took Alex Albon out of the race, went straight into him with a hairpin, and he is now going to get a 10-second penalty. It's a third lockup, wasn't it, for George Russell, that causes problems again.
He's running down at that hairpin, but he should. But then Antonelli is going to get the overtake as well. The back of we've mentioned it.
Big extensive debrief for McLaren after this race. Who made the call to put the intermediate tyres on? What was the reasoning behind it? Did they think that more rain was coming if they did? Who was the weather forecast? It hasn't arrived.
So I got 5 up, which is good. I think.
It's had a snowball effect on McLaren's afternoon. If they hadn't had that problem, Piastri wouldn't have been mid-pack.
So behind the front two, Max Verstappen goes at the bottom.
race back again. Was
And
he ahead
it's
enough? Was it?
make it secret and gossip.
They might have come off. They've been thrown away in the dustbin of Mercedes because they are scrapping at every corner.
Which one has spent all me
Call to from the Mercedes pit wall. I'm like, okay, right, calm this down. You're now rubbing wheels. And unsurprisingly, he's been told to give that position back because Russell was far enough up the inside and Antonelli went off and gained track position. And if he's smart, he needs to give the position back at a convenient pace so he can immediately run back.
We're just had him go past now.
Kimi Antonelli has a difference of opinion after being told to give the place back. He has done so. This hairpin is causing all the issues today, and there is, to reiterate,
I'll go get this thing tonight
which is making braking very,
to
very
set
difficult. Here
these.
comes Antonelli again.
Well, he's not even right. That position to do.
Carbon copy of the previous.
He looks fastest to do with yellow. We'll do it again, then.
No, it's
This time there is no contact.
So when he sails back out end of race,
Stays out in front, down towards turn one we go.
somebody's going to get past that.
Grand Prix this is. Mercedes looking out the front row for the first time since 2016. It was Hamilton and Rosberg, and back in that day, we know the scraps between those two over the years. And
Breathless, and we're nowhere near half distance.
oh, this is the way that we get the sport, isn't it? It's the point meant to be able to freeze it up and to an absolute storm of the Grand Prix.
Convenient for the race.
I think that's just what it is.
And it back. So you've got to put it in the try to bring out giving a immediately representing.
The rest of Marcus Duncan talking to us. But George, I'm not quite sure what else. Quite a bit going on. What's happened to Fernando Alonso?
Yeah, after a great start, 9 places, Fernando at the beginning, Alonso's been dropping back to the right.
They have been told to tidy up the racing. Stop. We've got 1,400 people back at the factory, plus the power unit factory, plus all of our sponsors, partners, and manufacturers, and like, do not have a go.
On the radio tomorrow to have a little chat to give me Antonelli race engineer. Here he comes again, that the Antonelli into turn one we go, we're on board. Where's the championship leader? He's just a voice to the his teammate once again.
Forces George to go to Tennessee. George's line up to the next corner. That's why Anthony was all over that. And that's what I said earlier on. Just that tiny bit faster. He was yesterday. But George's long-term experience is somehow keeping him in good track position.
The more pressure Kimi Antonelli keeps putting on, the more entertaining the race. It will be going to be. To see. It's also very good to see George Russell absolutely as calm as he is, and even that lead as often as he has. Under constant pressure as once again Antonelli steams into that braking zone at turn 10. 100. Okay. Now let's off.
more information. Nothing's come up on Page Street, as far as I can see. Yes, sorry. So, yeah, they did have a message so are we saying that's an internal? Yeah, as you say, nothing's come up with the
Wow.
but that's the gist. Investigation for anything. So, yeah, there you go. Right? There's got more message. I don't see anywhere driving even last week in the braking zone. I mean, we need
said to George Russell, his race engineer, both cars need to race without risk. George Russell close at the moment. Bonnet, Peter Bonington, he's the race engineer, has said maybe we need to tighten up this race. We can't keep it tidy. We will stop this. 29.68 Canadian Grand Prix. George Russell. It is always a down doing behind him. The stewards Martin. Nation. We're looking quite committed.
That was right there time. It's got some great on it. George's front left, of course, and I mean, it's really struggling.
George Russell slowing down. Is he stopping and is he out of this race? He has come to a standstill by the side of the track.
I'm trying to get
29 laps of brilliant racing. It's all over for George Russell. He was the race leader. He's the third retiree now from this race.
I got a fire roll. But yeah, this one is going to be harder.
As you can see,
That's very painful for his championship chances as well. That's you can see something has broken behind him, hydraulic wise or power unit wise. And it's a horrible place to get back to the pits as well.
They went straight across. When he was supposed to turn, he just went straight across.
because this might play into the hands of those who haven't been into
Obviously,
yet,
so much
who might
on
want to
that.
make a pit stop. Lando Norris unlapped himself, and that's it's bad news for him. And for McLaren, that it's only a virtual safety car, not the full safety car, because that would give Lando a chance to catch up to the back of the pack somewhat. But aside from that, you have to feel for George Russell here. I mean, how many
Well,
times
let's
do you
get that
have to
car
take the lead,
picked up
only
off
to
the
be
track.
very fast and have all these
Trying to take the wind off.
surviving all of that, and then something on his car has just let go. Handing Kimi Antonelli the race lead and a chance now to extend an 18-point gap in the championship to 43 points in the championship.
And to win 4 on the bounce.
Which no driver has ever done. The Formula One World Championship before, 4 in a row, and has been done, but the first 4 in a row. The maiden Grand Prix victory followed by another 3. I said stand by for action. The pit lane are coming in.
Yeah, because you only
I'm
need
going to get a lot of energy
rivals out
right
the
now.
track are doing much lesser
I
speed,
don't
of
know
course.
how.
So it's a no-brainer to make a stop.
Oh, God,
Well, you say that, Martin, but you're not down at Ferrari Strauss. Why have they not pitted Lewis Hamilton?
I'll have to patch the secret tonight if I'm actually wanting to get a lot
Kimi Antonelli,
of
race
energy.
leader. Those soft tyres are taking some punishment so far in this race. He'll be glad, I'm sure, to get rid of those. Lando Norris will move up the order a little bit. He doesn't necessarily need to pit, does he? Because how long's he been on his tyres? 15 laps. But they might have taken the opportunity at McLaren. In comes Max Verstappen. So Antonelli will go back out in the lead. Verstappen didn't have much room on the pit box, did he? Rejoins the racetrack. Hamilton now into the pits for Ferrari, as is Leclerc, as is Verstappen as well. Colin Pittsburgh has been to the pit for the E6, and on ahead, Charles Leclerc in fourth place, from right back down to fifth now. Hamilton Duffy third. That is Charles Leclerc coming out of the
only one today is the
That's why showing literally good point growth as well. Has done a ticket since 2024. 2024 stretching all the way back to 3 years out. Whilst this race, same rabbits. Yeah,
For George Russell. How very rare for Mercedes.
So much in the
time as well, isn't it? For everybody just to be out of the way. And well, we've got again now we wait and see what this
So the race that everyone else.
ahead of Charlotte Clay.
Probably. Might have it broke it. Obviously not.
Oh yeah, that's like that.
What will happen between now and we know what will definitely happen for the first time this season in the Grand Prix will not win the race. Russell is out of the race. As you can see, very good headlights.
Okay, that's good.
30 miles an hour.
Can't wait for the other driver to make their move and then react to it. And he makes
It's good that you matched up first two worlds.
it'll be the race
Might be again if I
not do that again.
Looking at his mirrors, Simon Hagar wants to know which way Charlotte Clay is going to come at him here.
going to go anyway. It'll be around the
We'll still be
outside,
on
but
this side over.
not too far back. If you get a great bird's eye view on board with Charlotte Fair from the helmet cam. Towards the Charlotte Fair, Lando Norris. With those sides, they've done 19 laps to the end of the
32. That's bad. That's right. Nine, eight,
now in this phase of the Grand Prix.
eight,
Take
take with 5.
Investigation for an incident behind the safety formation map. Investigation take place after the race. Very good exit from Isaac Hadjar. Charlotte Fair's lost touch
good that it wants them on.
hairpin, but with a slipstream, let's see if we can get on turns down that back straight. Lance Stroll, the car ahead, about to be lapped by these two. He's currently running in 17th place, and we'll be thinking, do you want to get past me on this main straight here, or to the one side? There is Charles Leclerc. Tries under braking to get on even terms with that Red Bull. It's not happening for him. Hamilton, by the way, fastest man on track,
so not to
advantage on lap 37. Behind these two, Daniel Pinto running in 6th place. There's Lando Norris behind him.
See, but this pace is relentless. They are absolutely flat out of the bottom. They don't have to worry about tyre degradation. They are pushing the limits every day. As long as Lewis is not taking too much out of the tyre,
See,
he is
these
really
not
dragging
runs will still
himself
put him in
back into
contention
contention for
and
second.
even
And a very solid podium